Welcome to Mat Pilates. My name is Matt. We're going to start on the mat today. So go ahead and set your mat up. And I want to work a lot on anchoring today. Anchoring is where we focus on our body and the parts that are not moving more than the parts that are moving. So we want to make sure anytime we're sitting down or lying down that the parts such as the shoulders or the hips that are placed on the mat don't move at all while we move our limbs. So we'll get into that in a second. We'll start just focusing on our breath in through the nose and out through the mouth. You can sit in a comfortable position, cross-legged or in any other position you like. Nice and tall. Lift up your chest. Exhale out through your mouth. Add that little bit of force as you breathe out. In and lift. Think about raising the top of your head to the ceiling as you exhale. Brace down. Think about cinching a tight belt around your waist. So with that anchoring, we are also thinking about our center and centering ourselves right in the middle of our body, around the navel area. And if it's not moving, that's going to be anchored in place. If it is moving, you're anchoring everything around that and just moving that very gently. So we're going to sit. Anchoring points here are our feet and our butt. We're not on our tailbone, and we're not really on the sit bones if you're sitting up nice and tall. But we're right in between, extending our back on the inhale. Exhale, flex the spine, roll back a little bit onto that tailbone. Inhale and lift. Extend, exhale and flex. Feel the core, those abs start to work a little bit. But we're anchoring, our feet are not moving. At the top position, we're anchoring at that sitting position, and at the bottom, we're feeling anchored on our tailbone. But our feet are not moving. Last time up. This time, let go of your hands, slowly roll to the mat, controlled all the way through all of the exercises today. We're moving a little slower, a little more controlled, and really thinking about shoulder position and hip position, the two edges of the hips, especially when we're doing things like a hip circle. Our hips are not moving. So we'll get into that in just a second. We'll go into just an imprint, just to practice that flat back to the mat. On that exhale, inhale and relax. Back to neutral spine, where there's a little gap here on the inhale, exhale, imprint. Inhale, relax. Now we'll go into a curl up, exhale, imprint, lift the head, anchoring our hips, making sure those are not moving as we lift up into the curl up, inhale on the way back down. Feet stay in place too. Exhale, imprint, lift, feeling anchored through the lower back, through the feet. Making sure those parts are not moving. Don't really need to think about how high you're coming. Just try to get as high as you can, but really focus on those anchor points for this workout. Let's do two more. Exhale, lift. Inhale, back down. One more time up like that. And then we'll switch to the bridge. For the bridge, anchor points are obviously the feet. Make sure those are not moving and they stay firmly on the ground. And the shoulders, get the shoulder blades back. That's going to help keep you stable and balanced for these bridges. Exhale, imprint, flat back, and then lift up, rolling up the spine to the top of the bridge. You'll feel the weight in your shoulders. Inhale, slowly roll back down, articulating down the spine, trying to get each vertebrae to touch the spine, touch the back, touch the mat one at a time. Exhale, lift. Inhale back down, thinking about those anchor points more than the movement itself, and really working on moving from your center, up and down. Let's do two more. One more here. Inhale back down and relax. So our first exercise will be the single leg stretch. It's the one that you have your lifted position and you're going one leg out at a time. For this version, I really want to focus on the anchoring through the core, shoulders, back, and hips, because you're in that imprint position. So here we're going to do one leg out, inhale back, exhale out, inhale back. And we don't want to shift our weight. Think about where your body is. As your leg goes out, the core of your body isn't moving at all. You're just extending the leg, feeling the weight shift, but nothing's moving. And you'll feel your obliques start to work harder as you extend. We're not moving our upper body at all. Our hips stay in place. Let's do one more on each side. And inhale, bring it back down. You can relax the head. We'll do that same type of exercise with the straight leg stretch. So again, with the extended leg, it's a lot harder. Still focusing on the anchoring through the body, shoulders, hips, and back. Nothing there is moving. It's all about holding those in place and letting the legs work within your range. So your range is wherever you don't feel any movement in those anchor points. Go ahead and lift the legs to the ceiling, nice and tall. You can feel a little stretch there. Big inhale, big exhale. Now one side going down, inhale down. Exhale back up. Inhale down, feel the weight shift, but your body doesn't move. And then exhale back up. One more time on each side. One time on this side, then we'll go light touch on the leg. So light touch, really trying to hold in place. Hard work through the core, not letting your weight shift, not moving through your core at all. It's all in the leg, twice on each side, big breaths. Last time on this side. And bring it back in. You can rock side to side for a little stretch. No anchor points for the stretch. It's really one thing I do like about Pilates is it's really all about focusing in on the center and not focusing on how far you're moving, letting the body move where it can, but then focusing on the parts that aren't moving. Let's go into the one leg circle, the hip circle. For this one, since you're in a neutral spine, your only anchor points are your shoulders and your hips and the foot that's on the ground. So you still have kind of 3 points here. And we'll start small. We'll go 3 times one direction, 3 times the other direction. Each time, draw a little bit bigger circle. But for this one, really make sure your hips aren't moving. The tendency is to shift a little bit in the hips as you draw the circle. So really focus in on anchoring those hips down into the ground, really feeling the weight of your body. Pull yourself into the ground. So here we go. Inhale, exhale, lift the leg up to the ceiling and inside first. Inhale, in and down, small circle. Exhale, around and up. 2 more that way. Really feeling no movement in your hips, using the weight of your body to press down into the mat, into the ground. Last circle this way, and then switch directions. Small circle first. Don't let that hip lift off the ground as you start to go out to the side. Make sure that left side stays down if you're moving the right foot out. And then one more circle. And place that leg down. It's a little different when you're focusing on the hips instead of the circle itself. Studies are actually being done on what muscles are activated when you're focusing on different points, and it is slightly different. The same muscles will activate, but at different levels. So we're focusing on our hips today. Here we go, other side up, and we're going inhale, in and down, small circle. Exhale, around and up. It's controlled, slow movement, focusing on the hips, making sure they're not moving, letting the circle draw itself, letting the toe draw a circle. All right, other way for 3. Big breaths in, exhale around and up. 3 circles each way. Finish strong. When you're done, relax that leg down. Good. Let's go ahead and do a bridge. Let's do 2 bridges, normal bridges, just to feel that anchoring in the feet, anchoring in the shoulders, feeling that top position nice and controlled. If you want to make the next part easier, you can bring the feet in together because we're going to lift one leg. If you want to make it harder, you can go out to the side and really focus on holding your shoulders down. So find what works for you. Exhale, imprint lift, hold at the top. And this will be an inhale to prepare. Exhale, lift one knee. Make sure your shoulders stay in place. Inhale back down. Other side. Exhale, lift up. Feel the weight go into the opposite shoulder. Inhale back down. Exhale, first leg down. Inhale back down. Your weight is moving, but your body is not moving. You can feel your muscles activate to hold yourself in place. As you lift the leg up and then place it back down, switching legs each time. You make it a little harder by extending the foot. Other side, we'll do one more time each side like that. Extending the leg. Last side. Inhale back down, slowly roll your back down and relax. Now, one of the harder ones to do is the 100 exercise. We're obviously holding ourselves in place, moving our arms up and down, but we're really trying not to move our spine at all. Everything that is staying in place stays in that same place. 400 breaths. Inhale for 5, exhale for 5. So you find your challenge point. In that imprint position, lift the legs up and extend them to the challenge point. You can also, as an option, lift your head. You don't have to. Arms are straight, pumping up and down for each breath. All right, here we go. Big inhale, exhale, and inhale. 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale. 2, 3, 4, 5. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. That was 25. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale, that's 50. Exhale, good job. Inhale and exhale. Inhale, exhale. Last 20, inhale. Exhale, inhale, exhale. Pull it in, relax. You can rock side to side. Now we're going to go into a roll up. For the roll up, we are moving at the hips and everything in the upper body is moving. The feet are going to be staying anchored to the ground. It's pretty hard to keep them anchored to the ground while your upper body lifts, but that's what you want to focus on. Your hips do move, so you don't really think about anchoring them in place, but you do want to anchor them into the ground. So with that being said, hands over your shoulders, big inhale, big exhale, imprint lift, head, shoulders, curl up, feel the weight in your center, all the way up, sitting nice and tall. And now you can do a little bit of a spinal twist while we're up here. Twist, exhale as you twist, inhale as you return, exhale as you twist, inhale as you return. Let's do one roll down, inhale as you lean back, exhale, curl, lower yourself to the mat. To get back up, you can add a little more intensity with the neck pull. Hands touching your ears just lightly. Big inhale, big exhale, imprint and lift. Pressing down on your center to get yourself to sit up nice and tall. And let's go into a saw where you twist. The saw is where you reach your toes as best you can. Exhale as you reach. Inhale, come back. Good. Let's take a quick water break and we'll meet back in side lying. We'll do a quick side lying session today since we did a lot last week. inside lying. Your back is to the edge of the mat. Find a comfortable position on your arm or on your fist for your head. You're trying to be lined up through your spine. So no sagging at the hip, no sagging at the waist. Make sure your abs are active. Legs slightly in front, just so you're a little easier to balance. Anchoring points for this exercise: shoulder, hip, and whichever foot is on the ground. It's really focus on holding those in place. Use your abs to control your balance. Top leg goes up and down. We're just warming up a little bit. I only have one exercise that's really going to challenge our balance here, really challenge our anchoring points. After about 5 or 6, point the toes straight down in line with the body. Warming up those adductors, abducting away from the body. And then we're adding to the body with the bottom leg. 5 or 6. And then point the toes straight down for the second 6. Good. Now back to the top leg. We're going to do the plie kick. So the plie kick, again, focusing on the parts that aren't moving: the shoulder, the hip, the foot, making sure those stay in place. The leg, it's the knee points to the ceiling and then kick the foot up. Inhale as you come back down. But really focusing on the part that isn't moving, making sure your body doesn't move as you go through this exercise. So we're focusing on our foot, focusing on our hip. You're not going to go straight to the ceiling today. We're just focusing on where the body stays in place. We're doing 6. I had 3. I have 3 more. Inhale back down. 2 more. Extend and lift. Last one coming up. It's a little slower today because we're focusing on our anchor points, which makes it a lot harder. Okay, other side. Focusing on staying in control of our movement. Not using any momentum to do these exercises. It's all about the strength of the muscle. So holding yourself in place, top leg goes straight in line with the body, toe pointing forward for the first 6. Just getting ourselves warmed up, feeling our core work, feeling this position, feeling anchored in place. Point the toes straight down in line with the body for the second 6. And then we'll switch to the bottom leg. Get that warmed up, anchoring through the core, feeling the hip work, the inside of the hip. And then point the toe straight down for the second 6. And we'll go to that plie kick for 6 repetitions. Get yourself anchored in place. Here we go. Big inhale to prepare. Big exhale as you lift the knee, extend the toe. Inhale back down. Not shifting your weight at all. Making sure those hips, shoulders, and the foot that's on the ground stay exactly where they are. There's no changing of your body position. It's all about holding in place as you let the leg do its best. That was number 4. I have 2 more. Extend. Inhale back down. Last one here. Knee. Extend back down and relax. Good. We're going to go onto our stomach. You need to get a water break. Now is a good chance. Okay. For the stomach exercises, our anchor points are kind of this lower chest area where that's on the ground. Your abs are not on the ground. You're holding those up. So you're not pushing down on your stomach. And then pretty much your thighs are going to be on the ground. So those kind of 3 points, both thighs and the chest. You can also get your feet on the ground. That can help kind of anchor your lower body. We'll start with the reverse snow angel, and then we'll do alternating arm lifts so that we can work on anchoring our core and our oblique back muscles, as in the cross back muscles. So we'll start out, we'll just do 8 of the reverse snow angel, trying to feel anchored in place, head looking straight down, but you do lift your head up, looking straight down. Find those anchor points, thighs, the toes, the lower chest, and here we go. Lift the hands up to the hips, all the way over your head. Controlled movement. Feeling your core work to hold yourself up and in place. 5 more. Nice and controlled. Tuck your chin. Lengthen the back of your neck. Lengthen. 3 more. 2 more. 1 more here. And rest for a second. So for this one, I'm up in a Y. I'm not straight over my head, it's more like a Y. You do have an option to lift the arm and the leg, or you can just lift the arm, your choice. It's kind of like a swimmer, but a little more out to the side. So we'll alternate sides, 8 on each side. Inhale, and then exhale, lift. Inhale back down, exhale, lift up. Feeling anchored through your core, not letting the anchor points move. Hand presses into the ground as the other side lifts. Same with the feet. The feet press down as your arm and leg lift. Your torso is not moving at all. It's all about the limbs, the shoulder movement. The shoulder comes back, the arm lifts up. 4 more on each side. Big breaths here. 2 more. 1 more. And rest. Hands can be under your shoulders. Press yourself up. We're going into hands and knees. I have 1 exercise on hands and knees. So we usually do a bird dog. We're just going to do the leg part of the bird dog. And I have a little extra twist to it. So instead of just extending here, you're also going to do a little hamstring curl at the top and then bring it back down. We're going to do one side for 5, other side for 5, and then we'll do alternating for 6. So here we go. One side up, curl, bring it back, just touch the foot down and then extend it back up. Curl, touch the foot down. So you keep your legs straight and then curl at the top. That was 2, 3, 4, and 5. Good. Reset, other side. It's all about staying anchored through your knees and hands for this one. Extend and curl. Lift, curl, extend back down. Good. 3 more. 2 more. 1 more. And back to the ground. You can shake out the wrists for a sec. Alternating sides. As we alternate, when you reset, try not to shift your body. It's all about placing the weight down without moving your body position and letting the weight change in your hands and in your knees. So here we go. First side extends, lifts the knee, place it back down, shift the weight, don't move your body. That's the hard part, is that transfer. Back to that first side, extend, curl, extend, back, extend, curl, extend, back. 4 more on each side. thinking about those anchor points more than the leg itself. I think we have 2 more on each side. Last one on this side, and then the last one on the other side. Rest. Shake it out. Let me just get a glass of water. I believe we have just enough time for a couple stretches. We'll do the hamstring stretch first since we just hit those hamstring curls. Sit and reach. It's really about finding the stretch, then letting your body relax into the stretch. 5 deep breaths. And the next stretch, you stay in this position. We're going to do the groin stretch. So it's the same position. You just turn your body, walk your hands. So your shoulder is going to be over this knee, or pretty close to. Think about drawing the shoulder over the knee and letting your weight get yourself into that stretch. You might need to walk yourself farther over, maybe less far, maybe leaning farther in, but keep the anchor point in that heel that's out that way. The heel that's extended is the point that you want pushing into the ground, and then you're turning your body away from it. And that's going to help get that groin stretch. 5 deep breaths. Switch sides when you're ready. Switch sides, going back to the hamstring stretch. After 5 deep breaths in the hamstring, turning your body for that groin stretch. And I'll just demonstrate the 2 stretches that you should do before I go. First one, the glute stretch, heel on the knee, pull it to the chest, cross it over. That's going to get the gluteus maximus, the gluteus medius, maybe a little bit of the gluteus minimus. Make sure to do both sides there. The last stretch you should do is the hip flexor stretch on one knee. Extend at the hip. Turn your body. Deep breaths as you feel that through your hip flexors, the front of the hip. Okay, that's all I have time for today. I hope you had a good workout, and I hope to see you all again next week. Take care.